Have you ever stood by the tracks, felt the ground rumble, and watched a massive locomotive thunder past? Its power, rhythm, and history all on display? That sense of awe isn't just nostalgia, it's the heartbeat of train spotting, a fascinating hobby that connects travel, technology, and timeless wonder. Welcome to HowExpert Tip of the Day, where we bring you real-world tips from our How to guides on all topics from A to Z. If you want to learn even more in-depth strategies, examples, and techniques on this topic, check out HowExpert Guide to Train Spotting, available at Amazon, Audible, Barnes& Noble, Google, Kobo, Apple, Spotify, and all major bookstores as an ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook. Train spotting at its core is the observation and documentation of trains. Enthusiasts record details such as locomotive types, carriage numbers, liveries, and routes. But it's much more than that. It's a way to connect with history, geography, engineering, and community. Whether you're a lifelong rail fan or just curious about the trains that roll through your town, train spotting opens a window into the story of movement, industry, and adventure. Let's explore the key things you need to know to understand and enjoy the world of train spotting. First, what train spotting is and why people love it. Train spotting, also called rail fanning, is the practice of watching and identifying trains, often noting their details in a logbook or photographing them in motion. It's a hobby that blends excitement, observation, and education. For some, it's about collecting locomotive numbers or spotting rare models. For others, it's about the thrill of the chase, waiting for that one special heritage train to pass. And for many, it's simply about enjoying the atmosphere, the sounds of steel, the smell of diesel or electricity, and the sight of power in motion. Train spotting brings together people of all ages, backgrounds, and countries, united by one thing: a love for railways. Second, the history and culture behind the hobby. Train spotting has deep roots, especially in the UK, where it became popular after World War II. Enthusiasts gathered at busy railway junctions with notebooks, recording locomotive numbers as they passed. In the US, Japan, and Europe, the culture evolved differently, often centered around photography, model trains, and heritage rail tours. Over time, the hobby has embraced digital tools, but its spirit remains the same: a celebration of rail travel's beauty and importance. In many ways, train spotting preserves history, documenting engines and carriages that might soon be retired. Every log entry or photograph becomes part of a living record of the world's railways. Third, learning to identify trains. To a newcomer, all trains might look similar. But to a train spotter, every locomotive tells a story. Identification begins with understanding types: freight trains, passenger trains, commuter units, and heritage or special trains. Each locomotive has a classification number or nameplate that indicates its model, series, or builder. For example, in the UK you might see a Class 43 HST, while in the US you might spot a GEES 44AC from General Electric. Visual clues also help. The shape of the cab, the sound of the engine, the paint scheme or livery, and even the arrangement of the wheels. Over time, spotters learn to identify trains by sight and sound alone. Pro tip: bring a small field guide or use mobile apps like RailCam, Real-Time Trains, or Open Railway Map to match what you see in real time. Fourth, choosing the best train spotting locations. Location is everything. The best spots are those with clear views, safe access, and frequent train traffic. Stations, railway bridges, public footpaths, rail viewing platforms are ideal. In the UK, popular sites include Clapham Junction, Crewe, and York Station. In the US, enthusiasts gather at Horseshoe Curve in Pennsylvania or Tehachapi Loop in California. Japan's Tokyo Station is famous for high-speed Shinkansen spotting. Safety is always the top priority. Stay behind fences, follow local regulations, and never trespass on railway property. Remember, a good spotter is a responsible one. 5. Tools and equipment for train spotters. You don't need much to start, just curiosity and a safe place to observe. But a few tools make spotting even more enjoyable. A notebook helps you log details like date, time, train type, and route. A camera or smartphone captures images and helps you share sightings online. Binoculars can bring distant trains into view, and a scanner or railway frequency radio, where legal, lets you listen to railway communications for real-time updates. Apps like real-time trains or train line show schedules, and websites like railpictures.net let you upload and share your best photos. Over time, you might build a personal archive, photos, videos, and notes that reflect years of dedication. Sixth, the art of train photography and videography. Photography is a huge part of modern train spotting. A perfectly timed shot of a speeding locomotive or a historic steam train in the golden light of sunset can be breathtaking. Composition matters. Look for scenic backgrounds like bridges, tunnels, or countryside tracks. Keep an eye on lighting and safety and always respect railway property lines. Videography adds another layer, capturing motion, sound, and atmosphere. Many train spotters upload videos to YouTube, where millions of viewers enjoy the thrill of locomotives from around the world. A good rule: don't just document, tell a story with every shot. Show not only the train, but the feeling of the moment. 7. The global train spotting community. Train spotting isn't just a solo pastime, it's a worldwide community. Enthusiasts share their photos, discoveries, and experiences through online forums, social media groups, and rail clubs. Events like heritage rail festivals, open days, and charter trains bring spotters together to celebrate rail history and technology. Online platforms like Flickr, YouTube, and Reddit's r/trains host vibrant discussions and photo collections. What makes the community special is its spirit of sharing. Whether you're an expert photographer or just jotting down numbers, every spotter contributes to keeping rail culture alive. Now, let's tie all this together with a story. Oliver, a teenager from Manchester, used to hear trains passing near his house every morning. One day, he decided to find out more. He went to his local station with a notebook and started jotting down train numbers. That first visit sparked something. Over time, he learned to identify classes of locomotives, met other spotters online, and began photographing heritage steam trains. His hobby turned into a passion and eventually a career in railway engineering. That's the power of train spotting. It begins with curiosity and leads to connection, knowledge, and lifelong inspiration. When you understand these principles, train spotting becomes more than a pastime. It's a way of seeing the world in motion. Every whistle, every rumble, every passing train becomes a small piece of a bigger story about progress and connection. And here's the mic drop line. You're not just watching trains. You're witnessing the living heartbeat of travel, history, and human innovation. For even more tips, techniques, and practical examples on this topic, check out HowExpert Guide to Train Spotting, available at Amazon, Audible, Barnes & Noble, Google, Kobo, Apple, Spotify, and all major bookstores as an ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook. HowExpert publishes how-to guides on all topics from A to Z. Visit howexpert.com to learn more.